Hello and welcome to another ETS2 video. This is Pablo of Relax Media, and today I will be sharing my graphic settings and what graphic mods I use to achieve a natural looking ETS2 gameplay. You are looking at a game profile that does not have any graphics mod. This is as vanilla as it can get when it comes to graphics. Obviously, I have other mods like sound mods or AI traffic, but today we are just going to focus on how I achieve that sweet-looking graphics on ETS2. Now, before we dive deeper into the settings I have for ETS2, I need to just mention that if you are using a relatively newer system, or if you have a brand new PC as of this time, it will be a big help if you will be using DirectX 11. The DX11 version of ETS2 allows for a much smoother gameplay compared to that of the DX9 one. Alright, if you have the Steam version of ETS2, just go to your Steam launcher and then right click on ETS2 and then choose launch with DirectX 11 64-bit version, the one that says experimental. So we'll now head to the graphic options. Alright, first off, I'll let you see my graphic settings. Here, I am using a 21:9 aspect ratio monitor, also known as ultra-wide. There's a reason why you are seeing black bars on top and at the bottom of the screen. Alright, so it is not your phone, it is not your device, but it's just me using an ultra-wide resolution for the game. Alright, so 60 Hz, that is a maximum of 60 FPS if vertical sync or VSync is enabled. So that is it. And here is my setup. Okay, so I have 400% of scaling. Scaling basically is, I'm not really particular when it comes to the technical details of what scaling does, but scaling is basically the higher the percentage level of scaling, the better the graphics would look. Sharp details would be sharper, and then those lines would be less jaggy, and text and icons inside the truck will be much clearer, or it will be more crisp. Okay, so just to give you an idea how this scaling affects the graphics, just take a look at our truck here. The grass, the trees, and the straight lines. Right, and inside the truck, these labels on the buttons, those texts, the numbers there on our dashboard console, and the switches. And how will it look if we are using 100% scaling? This is how things would look with 100% scaling. Notice the lines, especially we zoom out. Notice the lines of the trucks, of the building beside us. It looks jaggy, right? Look at the truck. Look at the straight lines of the truck. It doesn't look that smooth, right? And the grass, especially if we zoom out, the grass looks washed out, even almost pixelated. Look at the trees. And then inside the truck, the numbers on the dashboard panel does not look that crisp. Even the buttons right here, right? Right here on the aircon vent on the driver's side, if we zoom out, that gray or silver looking lining or accent at the aircon on the aircon vent does not look that smooth at all, right? And that is with 100% scaling. Right, allow me to also show you, in case you do not know, there is some of you, especially for those who are going to play the game for the very first time. If you go to the graphic settings, your settings might look like this. So you can choose between low, right, medium, and high and ultra. If you have a base system, especially if you're just using an APU, an AMD APU, and you do not have a dedicated graphics card, you might, by default, the game might choose this setting in order for you to have a smooth gaming experience. So that is the lowest possible settings in ETS2. Now, if you select Ultra right here, of course we are expecting a big jump in the quality of the graphics. So right now it looks okay, that is for sure. The sky is there, the grass is back. However, we are faced with the same issue that we had earlier. The jagged edges of the truck. The foliage look pixelated at a distance. Alright, now, if you want to improve, or if you want to be more precise with your graphic settings, all you need to do is click on Advanced Settings, and from here, you'd be able to tweak your settings. So will not, and the scaling is set to 125. Let's jump back to 400%. Now here is something that not a lot of people know. The anti-aliasing in this game is I would say it's a bit unnoticeable, but the performance loss whenever this is on is just huge. Or more often than not, I'll just turn this off in order for the game to run as smooth as possible. HDR is something I turn off if well, generally this is off, because the problem in HDR is it makes some parts of the truck, the environment, even the roads, it makes it a little bit too bright in my taste. So I turn that off. And the color correction is also something that I do not like, because it makes the picture of the game too saturated for my taste. But of course, that is subjective. If you want a vivid looking image on your gameplay, then by all means go ahead and use color correction. The same thing can be said with HDR. If you like the effect of HDR, then by all means go ahead and use it. Basically, all of these are set to the highest possible settings, except for the mirror options. I only set these to medium, because again, this is a big performance hit. The mirror distance and resolution. So if you want to make your experience, ETS2 experience, a little bit smoother, then set these to medium. By the way, I am using a combo of Strix ROG GTX 1070, the OC edition, and also an AMD Ryzen 7 1700 clocked at 30 or 3.6 gigahertz, paired with a 16 gigabyte DDR4 3000 megahertz RAM. I'm using 2 channels, by the way. Alright, and the rest is left to the highest settings there. Alright, so that is my base game setup. So this is how it looks. Now, one could argue that with this setup, or with these settings, the game looks already good. It looks natural. It looks a bit realistic. Of course, this has not always been the case. because this game has gone through a lot of graphics overhaul through the years. The game was released in 2012, and fast forward to 2019, here's what SCS was able to come up with, and a big kudos to the developers. So just look at that. Look at the texture. This part of the steering wheel. So the part of the steering wheel where the sun is shining. So can you tell that it is a picture of a game? If in any case someone shows you just this bit of the game's image, I bet not, right? So that is how wonderful this game looks, even with this graphics, with the base game graphics settings, without any mods. Now, I am going to show the difference between this and a profile that would have the natural lux and also the Project Next Gen graphics mod. So I'll be back in just a tiny bit. Alright, so here is how the game looks with natural lux, and also notice the road texture. That is a result of Project Next Gen. It makes the ground textures more realistic. So that is how natural lux look. So it basically improves the lighting. It changes the skybox into a more natural sky, obviously. Right, and then look at the trees. It looks more crisp. It is now looking more realistic, and it is not that saturated. It is just I think just the right amount of saturation. So that is why I can no longer play ETS2 without natural lux, especially the sky. I am a big fan. I am a big fan of what they did with the sky boxes, especially if it is really cloudy. It just looks amazing. So here we are in the page where all of my profiles are. Alright, we'll be selecting this profile. It will serve as our mod tester. The first mod that we'll be activating will be Project Next Gen. If I can find it. Next Gen. Alright, there you go. Okay. So I have other mods here, mostly traffic mods, trailer mods from Jazzy Cat, sound mods. I'm also using alternative lines. This is an add-on for the Project Next Gen. And the big daddy of this video will be Natural Lux. Amazing, amazing mod. A big shout out to the developers of this wonderful piece of graphic mods. Yes, I really love it. So what I have here is the vegetation fix. It's an add-on for this mod. Not even sure if there's a specific way that we need to load these mods right here, or these parts right here, but for the sake of this video, and I think it is still, I mean, it works regardless of how I place them. Right. The links for the mods mentioned in this video will be available, of course, down in the description below. You can check out these wonderful mods. These are absolutely free, which is an even more great news, right? You get to experience what I can experience without any additional cost. So that is it. If you find this video helpful, please leave us a like, and if you really enjoyed this one, maybe subscribe with notifications on so you will be told whenever a new video is up. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.